Hi, this is Monique. Rhodes, this hurricane's been going through not too far from where I live, and there's lots of flooding and things like that. And, it's easy when you see things like this to feel overwhelmed by the suffering of the world. I talk about this a lot. You scroll your phone, you turn on the news, you talk to your friends, and suddenly you're swimming in stories of pain, injustice, uncertainty. So there's so much happening, so much that needs care and healing and attention. And you're just one person. And so you might end up wondering, how can I possibly do enough? The answer is you can't. Not everywhere, not for everyone. And you can begin right here. You can start with who's right in front of you today, in this moment, in this life. For me, with this flood happening, there's a bunch of people I'm able to do small things for. I'm able to help with food and clothing and somewhere to sleep. And this is what we need to understand, is that life has placed certain people in our paths, not by strategy, not by plan, but by proximity, circumstances, shared spaces, timing, maybe even by accident. And because of that closeness, we have an opportunity. We get to touch their lives, not in grand, heroic ways, but in small, real ones. You might be able to help the friend who calls when they're having a hard day, or maybe the barista at your coffee shop who you see every morning, but maybe they look tired today. Or the colleague at work who's trying to hold it together. Or maybe the neighbor who's just always alone. Maybe you're a teacher and there's a student who opens up in your class. Or maybe you have a partner who's quietly asking for more presence. You don't have to fix their world, but you can offer yours, your attention, your steadiness, your care. That's what makes the biggest difference anyway. So we can't change everything. That's the hard truth. There's an entire world outside of your control. There's global systems, there's distant wars, there's far off suffering, there's politics, there's climate, there's economies. So you can care about those things. You should care about those things. But the actual impact you have, it begins in your circle of influence. So that circle is made up of the people you see, you speak to, you live with, you work with, you interact with, maybe you even pass on the street. And when you show up well for them, you ripple out something powerful. So we sometimes chase the idea of making a big difference. And at the same time, we might neglect the real people who are closest to us. So maybe the biggest difference you can make isn't loud. It's not about scale. It's about presence. So when you show up with care for the people in your immediate orbit, you expand your influence from the inside out. That's real. That's powerful. That's enough. So I find in the world now there's so much pressure to be everything, everywhere, all at once, to have a take on every issue, to have to hold space for everyone, to have to meet every need. But that's not humanly possible. And when you try to do that, you often end up burnt out or numb or disconnected. So instead, what if you gave yourself permission to go small, to let the shape of your care be determined not by the scale of the crisis, but by the depth of your connection? You don't have to save the world, but you can remember someone's name. You can listen, really listen. You can show up consistently. You can be there for someone, and you can be that person that makes another person feel seen. That matters. So you've been placed by life, by time, by chance, into relationships, into communities, into places. That's not accidental. It's where your energy is meant to be. And sometimes we overlook the people closest to us because we're so focused on the things we can't control. We end up chasing change in all the wrong places. But healing, real healing, that often happens in kitchens and driveways and small circles and quiet texts. It happens in ordinary ways with ordinary people when we choose to be intentional. So when you bring care to your close connections, the effects multiply because those people carry your kindness into their own circles, and slowly, quietly, the world changes. So you don't have to do it all. But each day you might ask yourself, who's been placed near me right now? Where can I offer kindness within reach? What's one small thing I can do today that honors the people I'm in connection with, however briefly or deeply? And you might be surprised by how much love is possible when you stop reaching for the whole world and start showing up in the small part of it that's already yours. If you like this, subscribe. Let me teach you more. As always, be kind. Take care. Go gently in the world.